Ron Weasley was never one to seek the limelight. Living in the shadow of his talented siblings, he often felt like the odd one out, the one who was just Ron. But fate has a peculiar way of turning ordinary moments into extraordinary events. What if Ron Weasley, by a twist of destiny, became the keeper of the Elder Wand? It all began during the Battle of Hogwarts. Amid the chaos and destruction, the Elder Wand was wrenched from Voldemort's grasp in a fierce duel. Harry, recognizing its dangerous power, intended to break it, but in the heat of battle, he was separated from the wand. Ron, rushing to help Harry, stumbled across it, lying amidst the rubble. The wand seemed to call to him, humming with an energy he'd never felt before. Without fully understanding its significance, Ron picked it up. The surge of power he felt was intoxicating, a feeling of capability he had never experienced. When the battle ended, Harry spotted Ron with the wand. "Ron, that's the Elder Wand," Harry explained, his voice urgent. "It's too dangerous. We need to destroy it." But for Ron, the thought of giving up the wand was unbearable. For the first time, he held something that made him feel more than just a sidekick. Against his better judgment, he convinced Harry to let him keep it, just for a while, to protect it. Harry, exhausted and trusting, reluctantly agreed. As days turned into weeks, Ron began to change. The Elder Wand amplified not only his magic, but also his ambition. He became bolder, more confident, qualities he had always wanted. At first, it was thrilling. He outshone even Hermione in dueling practice, and his spells were unmatched in their precision and power. Wizards and witches at the Ministry began to notice him in a way they never had before. But the wand's power came at a cost. The temptation to use it grew stronger with each passing day. Ron, driven by a mix of ambition and a desire to prove himself, started taking risks. He performed magic that astonished even the most experienced Aurors. He won duels against foes who had once mocked him. He repaired the burrow in mere moments after a storm had damaged it. But beneath the surface, Ron's insecurities were still there, feeding the wand's darker inclinations. Hermione and Harry began to grow concerned. Hermione, ever the scholar, warned Ron about the wand's corrupting influence. "Ron, the Elder Wand has a history of destroying those who wield it. You can't let it define you." But Ron dismissed her concerns. "You don't understand, Hermione. For once, I'm not in the background. For once, I'm someone." As the years went by, Ron's reputation grew, but so did his isolation. His friendship with Harry and Hermione strained under the weight of the wand's influence. His decisions became more erratic, more dangerous. He began to believe that only he could protect the wizarding world, that only he had the strength to wield the wand responsibly. One fateful day, a group of dark wizards, emboldened by the absence of Voldemort, launched an attack on Hogsmeade. Ron, armed with the Elder Wand, fought valiantly. His magic was awe-inspiring, devastating the attackers and saving countless lives. But in the aftermath, as he stood amidst the wreckage, the townsfolk's cheers ringing in his ears, Ron realized the terrifying truth. He had enjoyed the destruction, the absolute control. That night, he sat alone in the burrow, staring at the Elder Wand. Memories of his family, of Harry and Hermione, of the person he once was, flooded his mind. He thought of Dumbledore's warnings about power, of how the wand had brought ruin to so many before him. The weight of his choices pressed heavily on him. Finally, Ron made a decision. He called Harry and Hermione to the burrow, and with a trembling voice confessed everything. He handed the wand to Harry, knowing that his friend was the only one who could truly understand the burden it carried. Together, they decided to do what should have been done long ago. Standing atop the astronomy tower at Hogwarts, the trio cast the Elder Wand into a magical furnace, ensuring it could never harm anyone again. As the wand disintegrated into a burst of light, Ron felt a sense of relief he hadn't known in years. In the end, Ron returned to being just Ron, but this time, it was enough. He understood that true strength wasn't about power or recognition. It was about standing by the people you love and doing what's right, even when it's the hardest choice. Would Ron Weasley, the unassuming hero, succumb to the power of the Elder Wand? Or would he rise above its influence to become something greater? His journey shows that even the humblest wizards can face the most extraordinary challenges. If you like the video and don't want to miss the next one, subscribe. I will be very grateful.